able to go above the karma kanda level. So karma kanda has to be completely understood. Yeah. For that, Bhoma Sukha has to be completely understood. Any questions or any understanding glitch, I would say, with Bhoma Sukha and karma kanda? All clear? Yeah. Good. So we'll move on to the next verse. Let me share my screen. 3.11. You able to see my screen?
Yes.
Devan bhavayatanena
Devan bhavayatani tanena
te deva bhavayantu vaha
ते
deva
देवा
bhavayantu
भावयन्तु वः
parasparam bhavayantaha
परस्परं भावयन्तः
bhavayantah
Shreyah param avapsyatha
Shreya param
परम्
avapsata
यथा
Devan bhavayata tena
Devan
देवान्
bhavayatena
te
भावयन्ते
deva bhavayantu vaha
Te deva bhavayantu vaha
भावयन्तु वः
Parasparam bhavayantaha
Parasparam
परस्परं
bhavayantah
भावयन्तः
Shreyah param avapsyatha
Shreya param
श्रेयःपरं वाप्यथा
avapsata
Devan bhavayata tena
Devan
देवं
bhavayatena
भावयितातेन
te deva bhavayantu vaha
Te
ते
deva bhavayantu vaha
Parasparam bhavayantaha
Parasparam
परस्परं
bhavayantah
भावयन्तः
Shreyah param avapsyatha.
Shreya param
परम्
avapsata
अवाप्स्यथा
The demigods being pleased by sacrifices will also please you. How does a demigod gets pleased?
through yagna.
Correct.
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Correct. Yagya, sacrifice. So if you want something, you have to perform yagya, sacrifice. Now, what is a yagya? Question again for everyone. What is yagya or sacrifice? What is sacrifice? Or what is that you sacrifice?
Something that reaches to God
So you sacrifice something that reaches to God?
directly. It's a way of communication, I can say.
Yes. But what do you sacrifice? क्या करते हैं? उंगली काटते हैं अपनी?
Somebody, क्या बोलते हैं, like they'll sacrifice animals, or they will sacrifice dhanya dhan in yag.
Sacrificing animals. Okay, very
Sacrifice.
good thing. So if you want to sacrifice an animal, that means you kill an animal,
Yeah.
right? But do you have the propensity
Oh,
of bringing that animal back to life?
No,
Then how can you kill someone?
because those animals are meant to.
So why are we not meant to get sacrificed? I mean, can someone pick us up also, right? And say you are meant to get sacrificed. How's that? I mean, if I believe that I pick up someone, some animal, and we kill that animal and we think that that is a sacrifice. Why can't someone else think that I am also a living and I should be sacrificed? Logical,
But
right?
I think there are certain animals like goat, hens, and all. They are meant for killing and eating or
Okay.
sacrifice.
Why not you and me?
From species to species.
I mean, why not you and me? I mean, someone can think that I have to give Narabali sacrifice and they pick us up. Can we argue on that? They say, no, you were also killed. Say, for example, someone remembers the past life. Say, for example, you have given a goat, as you correctly said. They are meant to be sacrificed and meant to be eaten. If you pick up a goat and you do that, say in the next life that goat becomes a human, and God forbid, the goat remembers that I was a goat in the last and you killed. And that person comes and picks you up and says that this time I want to give you a bali because last birth you gave my bali.
So if
They're,
you
they're also logical. I mean, for argument's sake, right? Can I say no?
Yes.
Okay. But will he agree? He might
I'm
kill me, right? So this process never ends. So what I'm trying to say is that if you are capable of destroying something, you should be capable of producing that same thing also. So the balance should not go away. So sacrificing an animal is explained very nicely in the scriptures that a Brahman would chant the mantras in such a way that the animal being sacrificed will get a better life, not afterwards, at the time of the sacrifice, there and there itself. Then it is a sacrifice. Sacrifice में पुण्य होना चाहिए ना सबका. Sacrifice में लिखा है भगवद गीता में कि sacrifice is for living happily. Correct? Yes or no? So is it that Krishna is saying only I should live happily? The animal should not? He's saying all the living entities should live happily, right? So when we understand this and we follow the scriptures, the Brahman will chant the mantra in such a way that the animal which is being sacrificed immediately get a better birth. Not only better birth, but a human birth. So he can get liberated. Try to understand there are two aspects of this life. One is to live happily and the other one is to liberate. And liberation, how is it possible? You tell me. How the liberation is possible?
karma balance 0.
Very nice. So that intelligence, who has that? Is it a human or an animal? Who has that intelligence?
human.
Correct. Animal doesn't understand that, right? Correct. That's why they are considered to be lower in terms of their species. Human is considered intelligent as compared to others. Yeah. Because they know the way to liberate. So if at all I am sacrificing some animal, I have to make sure that he's liberated. That is called Brahman. And that is called animal sacrifice. So the one who cannot perform this kind of a sacrifice where the animal gets immediate next birth of a higher species, he is not a Brahman. Because he doesn't know the process of yajna. So all the animals that were sacrificed at the times of in Vedic times. So this is the argument which people make, that even they also eat animals and this and that. They do. Yes. But the bali that was given was just for not the sake of eating. It was to liberate that living entity into a better species. Can you do that? No problem. Go ahead. But if you can't, then you are acquiring sin.
But Prabhuji, why eat that bali? You know, why eat that?
Okay. So when we talk about Brahman does not need that kind of a diet in order to perform his activities. Heavy muscles or doing, killing someone or, lifting some really heavy machinery, or to kind of a thing where you have to fight. Basically you have to perform the physical activity, because that was the job of a kshatriya. A kshatriya will carry. So even today's times, uh, it's very difficult to carry the swords of kshatriyas. It is said that. I think there is a sword of Shivaji which is kept still in London, in their museum. You can't lift that up. It is said that someone can't lift that up. You need bala, physical strength. Unfortunately, the Kshatriyas had to, not unfortunately, unfortunately, vegetarianism doesn't help Kshatriyas to bring that kind of a power. So they have to. But how that particular flesh is obtained is very important. That needs to be understood. Does it make sense what I'm saying? So we
Yes.
say that these animals are to be sacrificed, but how are they sacrificed is very important. Now, Srila Prabhupada also said the same thing, I'll ask the same question to any meat eater as well. That why do you kill for meat? Why can't you wait for the animal to die and then have the meat? Will that be okay? Solution है मीट खाने के लिए. Just wait for it to die. लेकिन नहीं. That is not considered fresh for some reason. I don't know why. है कि नहीं? ये तो फ्रेश नहीं. फ्रेश मतलब कटा हुआ चाहिए. ऐसे सामने देखना चाहिए मैं. फ्रेश वो होता है. How is it fresh? I don't understand. See, when you go to scientific terms and logical, there will be a lot of questions asked. You may not be able to answer. Srila Prabhupada asked these hard-hitting questions. Nobody could answer. That's why they turned to Krishna consciousness straight away. This is the first question he asked. Why can't you wait till the cow dies? Then have the meat, no problem. Why wait for the goat to die? Why do you have to kill? Because if you have to kill, then you should be able to give that species a higher birth. That's a sacrifice. Is my argument reasonable? Yes or no?
But not only Brahma, Prabhuji, Brahmins who chant some mantras while sacrificing the animals. Even I'm just saying in a generic way. Even the butcher shops, the Muslims or some other people who. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So they also chant some mantras and they do sacrifices, cut the meat and sell. So can't be that even fall under the same thing?
So anyone chanting the mantras, is it adequate, or chanting the mantras and giving a higher life to a living entity is required? So anybody can chant mantras, but what is required for the effect of the mantra?
Prabhuji, but this sacrifices, yajna that Krishna is talking about, it's not about sacrificing an animal, right? It's about sacrificing.
We are talking about sacrificing anything for that matter. This topic came up, so we are discussing.
Okay.
Oh, we have lost Sushma ji.
Okay, because I thought what Krishna ji was saying was about sacrificing anything that satisfies your senses.
That is one thing of understanding. So it depends on what you are sacrificing.
Okay. Independent.
So yajna is a very broad term. So how do you take it? It's up to you. Yeah. So when we talk about sacrificing an animal, that is also sacrifice. but that has to be done in a scriptural way. So I'll share my screen with you in terms of where are we at. So when I look at the yoga ladder, you able to see the screen? Once you see the screen, let me know. Okay, you able to see
Yes, Prabhu.
yoga ladder?
Yes.
Good. So you see, non-scriptural enjoyment and scriptural enjoyment, there are two different things. So if you are killing someone, a living entity, an animal, non-scriptural enjoyment, without thinking, just killing, even chanting mantras, but it is not affecting, that is non-scriptural enjoyment. But if you are, say, giving a sacrifice of an animal, but exactly as per the scriptures, so that the animal receives the higher species straight away, then you are scripturally enjoying everything. Does it make sense? Purpose? No, enjoyment ही है. But there we are following the scriptures. Fully, yeah? आधा अधूरा नहीं. Chant करके छोड़ देना नहीं. When you chant, it should affect also. Right? So the goats which were, or the bulls that were given sacrifice, they would be immediately getting a human form of life. That was the effect of the scriptures chanted by a Brahman. So what is required for a Brahman to give that kind of an effect? That was the question in the sacrifice.
Knowledge.
Yes. What else? Knowledge is very important. Yes.
Intention.
Intention. Very good. Yes. And the most important part is the purity of the person who's chanting this. The effect of any mantra is possible when there is purity. So the problem in today's times is that we don't have a pure Brahman. Do we? Very difficult. There may be. I'm not saying there is not. But to find someone, and if he performs the scriptural way of doing an animal sacrifice, no problem at all. But that is a very difficult, uh, thing to happen in today's times. So it's half. It is not fully done. It is half. Very limited percentage of the actual whole process done in terms of sacrifice. Okay, coming back. What are the other sacrifices you give apart from this? What are the other sacrifice you give to a demigod so that your things are fulfilled?
Independence.
No, what is this? Oh, you give up your independence.
Yes.
So what is that you do in terms of giving up your independence?
That the feeling that like in the Bhama Sukha, we feel that we are the provisioner of the
Very nice.
returns. We say no,
Yeah.
somebody else is, that demigod is.
Yeah. So
That is
we depend on the demigods. Yes, very good. That you are the one and please. Very nice. Yeah, that is one sacrifice. Yes. What else? What generally people do? Recently, there was a time when people did something just about few days ago. It's a very solid example of karma kanda.
Hair sacrifice.
Yeah, that is also there. That also happens. People fast
few days like,
for,
oh yes, okay.
for
Yes.
9 days constantly.
Navratri. Yes.
Why do they fast? So that there is sukha and sampatti.
Hmm.
It's a purpose of that fasting. That is called karma kanda. Simple. Yeah, the purpose. Maybe someone is doing it for a higher purpose. That is different.
Yeah.
But
What if the purpose
generally,
is liberation?
Yeah, that is on the up the ladder. So we will go up the ladder after that. But karma kanda, I'm giving an example. If someone is doing that, and we can't judge someone, why is that person doing it? That person itself knows why is he doing it. But generally, people do that because it is the demigod whom we are doing it for actually derives why that person is doing it for them. So, for example, Durga. No, why is Durga worshipped? Because she is the maintainer or the uh, what is it called? What is the description of Durga? Anyone knows?
Jailkeeper.
Very good. Yeah. So where it is mentioned?
In a previous class.
Yeah.
That is also mentioned in Brahma Samhita. I'll show you that. So text 44 of Brahma Samhita. I'll share my screen. You'll see what is Durga. There's lots of concepts get cleared, once we get into this um, area of discussion. Very good, actually, for analyzing and understanding and clarity. So this is Sri Brahma Samhita 5.44. Please repeat after me. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Sakireka
Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Satkireka
Chhayeya Chhayeva Yasya Bhavanani Vibharti Durga
Chayeva Yasya
Eva yasya
Bhavanani Vibharti
bhuvanani
Durga
vibharati
Ichhanurupamapi Yasya Chachesta Sesa
Ichanurupam
Ichanurupam
api
api
yasya
yasya
Chiteshtasya
chateshta cha
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham
Adipurusam
Bhajami
Srishti
bhajami.
Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Reka
Shrishti sthiti
Pralaya
pralaya
Sadhana
sadhana sakti
Satkireka
ekta.
Chhayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga
Chayeva Yasya
Eva yasya
Bhavanani Vibharti
bhuvanani
Durga
vibharati durga.
Ichhanurupamapi Yasya Chachesta Tesa
Ichanurupam api
Ichanurupam
yasya
api yasya
Chiteshtasya
chateshta sa.
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Govindamadi
Govindam
Purusham
adipurusam
Tamaham Bhajami
bhajami.
So the external potency, Maya, who is the nature of the shadow of the Chit potency, is worshipped by all people as Durga. This is Durga. External potency, Maya, who is the nature of the shadow of the Chit potency. Yeah, is worshipped by all people as Maya. Okay. What is external potency? Is the Srishti.
material.
Yeah, yeah, world. So that, and what is its nature?
It is the shadow of the Chit potency.
So what is Chit?
Chit is the eternal
Yeah, correct.
blissful potency.
Yeah, Sat, Chit, Anand. Anand is bliss.
Bliss.
Chit
Sat,
is eternal. No,
yes, eternal.
Sad is eternal.
Chit is
Sat, Chit, Anand. So what are the you find out now the meanings of these three. I'll let you do some research and tell me. Maybe a couple of minutes. So what is Sat or Asat?
mm,
And then there is Chit, and then there is Anand. Where does this come from? This come from the description by Brahma. He explained this. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sat Chit
is it
Ananda
consciousness?
Vigraha.
Is it consciousness?
Yeah. So what is Sat?
Eternal consciousness and bliss.
Very nice. Sat Chit Ananda. Satchitananda Vigraha. So what is Chit?
Consciousness.
Consciousness.
Absolute knowledge, as explained here. So in the absolute knowledge, not consciousness, but absolute knowledge. So Sat is eternal
Eternal.
existence. Okay. Chit is absolute knowledge. And third thing,
Anand.
Anand is eternal
Bliss.
or absolute bliss. Okay. The three, Satchitananda. So Chit means knowledge. Yeah. So now the shadow of the actual Chit. So not the real one. Understand? Okay. So that is what we need to understand. That when someone prays for a particular demigod, the demigod has a limited capacity of delivering. We'll read more about Durga. I'll share my screen again. So when we say that, no, this is not the one. Up at 44, yeah. The external potency. So Durga is also known as Maya, or Mahamaya. That's an external potency. Everything is nothing to do with spirituality. Okay, very clear. The creating, preserving, and destroying agency of this mundane world. That is Durga. Agency, not authority. Okay.
Because authority is different, right?
So now it is explained. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda in accordance with whose Durga conducts herself. So the instructions are to be given by someone. The consent has to be given by someone. And that is none other than Krishna.
What is the difference between agency and authority?
So agency is who functions based on the authority.
Ah, right. So basically, Lord Govinda is the authority.
Correct. So imagine it like many managers reporting to a CEO.
Sign off लेने तो जाना पड़ेगा.
Exactly. So you have to follow the workflow. You can always go to, so people worship Durga and they receive that. But if they go to Krishna, then the consent is different. He gives the authority, as per the authority, he gives what is best for us. That is the reciprocation.
Yep.
Whereas if you go here, you will get something, it may not be beneficial for you. So there will be people who want something, you know, like there was someone who wanted a baby boy desperately. I just want that. And then they perform yagya, lot of things, you know, and they got it. And they performed yagya to Maya, Mahamaya, to Durga, and they received it. But so happened that they were actually not happy with their child at some point. So you may get what you want, but you may not get the happiness out from what you want unless it is consented by Krishna. So he knows what will give you happiness. That's what he provides. So it depends where you go. So if you go to your father and ask for a cigarette, he may not give you, right? Because it's not benefiting you. But if you go to a panwala, he'll give you a cigarette. No problem. Yeah. Although being the age of your father, he might just give you. So that's why the intelligence is understanding what is good for me and whom I should approach. So karma kanda, it doesn't follow that. Karma kanda is only what I want. And I feel what is happiness. So it doesn't involve that kind of a process of understanding everything. So we are understanding karma kanda here. Okay. So we'll end our discussion here today, and we'll continue from what verse are we on at the moment? 3.10.
10 we did right now.
We have done.
Yeah. So